Okay, guys, what's up? I was on holiday for a few days, just back from Milan, and I want to do some very quick recap videos. So here I'm going to cover just the markets and the banks real quick, 2, 3, 4 minute video at best. So obviously rate hikes are over. That's the consensus of the markets. It is what it is. It probably is over, actually. Now, that doesn't mean rate cuts are coming, and that doesn't mean that the market and the economy, more specifically, is not fragile with the rates staying where they are. But the markets loved it. I think there was a bit of this priced in, right? There's buy the rumor, sell the fact. Now, there was no sell the fact, but I just feel like we're hitting a bit of resistance. So here, Nasdaq, look at this. The old high from all the way up here, let's call it 388. Okay, it also intertwines a little bit with this high over here, but we're hitting a bit of resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if we level off and then come close this gap. And who knows, just come back down. I do think it's pretty bullish stuff, right? We've broken out of this descending. Down here, it was bearish, but then the rate hike stuff, etc., etc. So I do feel like we should come down a little bit and then maybe go back up. I don't know about going back up, breaking new highs. To me, it's all a bit crazy with the rates where they are. Maybe there'll be some banking crisis. I still think banks are really fragile. I wouldn't be surprised if a random big bank actually goes down any moment. But this is bullish pattern, and I just feel like it's hitting a bit of resistance. It is, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we at least close the gap. That's the Nasdaq, S&P, same sort of thing. Very bullish, like just rising up, broken out the descending, hitting this resistance again. Maybe it's hitting this one, but it's the same sort of thing. If it doesn't start closing above 454, let's say, it should come back down and probably close the gap. And who knows, it could overdo it and then retest this support zone here. They have the same chart pattern. So Nasdaq and S&P, very, very similar stuff. Dow Jones, also very similar stuff. Very bullish here, broke out this descending, gapped up also hitting resistance at its own local resistance, also has a gap to fill. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we just go sideways or just immediately next week come back down, close the gap. And again, a little lower is a bit of support, horizontal support. Now the Russell is always the outlier. It just stands out. It does not have the same chart. Big resistance here on this day. I mean, yeah, it tagged support quite well, resistance in this case. Now it also has a gap. And to be honest, if the others go down, Russell should go down too. Should also close its gap. There's also a bit of local support just below the gap fill. There's another gap here, but I don't think we'll get there because we already held this support. So let's see. They should all follow the same trajectory. So even though Russell doesn't, the chart of Russell just does not mirror those of the S&P, the Nasdaq, or the Dow Jones. They still have the same sort of pattern awaiting them. So I think we're going to go sideways, drop a little bit, close some of the gap, if not all of it. And there's another support zone below. But ultimately, the markets do look still bullish. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. You have to respect it. If we look at the banks real quick, same thing. Look at this. Just broken out the descending, kept going, also hit its own horizontal resistance. That's the XLF, that's the seniors. Do we level off also and close here? Probably. That was a good close though on Friday. Close a high of day. KB, same thing. This is actually also quite strong. Did it close above resistance? No, but it was pretty much there. So that the banks are outperforming the general markets, I would say, in terms of their how close they are to the resistance. KRE, not as much, but still, if the markets go down, the banks should follow. And yeah, that's my take. I think you clearly see what I mean. So now on to the next video. Hope you enjoyed that.